Okay, so if you go to the Angel and you go to the Illustrator class, we're going to start the portrait. There should be a link under November 23rd. No, that was the poster. I guess we're moving on to links that I haven't even prepared, did I? November 30th? General information about portrait. So right now it's under November 30th. Here's the general info on final portrait. Okay, so there's only 3 weeks left till the end of school. You should start your portrait now. I will show you some more concepts before school ends to make sure you do your portrait. So really what I wanted to show you in here is some samples. I don't know if these samples. So the kind of the technique I show you today is going to make this kind of look, where it's more of a this kind of look with the black outline. See the black outline like that? So that's what we're going to talk about today. This will be the first look this time with the black outline. So there will be some techniques I'm going to show you that. So again, these are nice. People looking in certain directions. People looking straight out at you is kind of difficult. So again, this is under November 30th on Angel under week 14, November 30th. Here's the general info about the portrait. That's where I'm at as far as what I'm looking at you with. And then here's one that was kind of a full person, but I like the kind of look of the hat. Here's some nice samples from previous classes. This one, the portrait was nice, but the background was all done on image trace, and it looks kind of crappy. But I like the hair in this one, and the kind of look here was quite nice. This one's quite really good. This portrait was actually done by a kind of a famous illustrator in my class. His name's Arnold. Arnold is he teaches at the Cogswell. Anybody heard of Cogswell? Right? Arnold teaches. He went to Art Center in down in Southern California, Art Center. So he went to Art Center, and of course he learned all hand drawn stuff. So he didn't know how to do any digital stuff. So he shows up in my Illustrator class. He's like, I went to Art Center. I know how to do all this great drawing and painting and stuff, but I don't know how to use the computer. So this was his final portrait, and recently probably. So this is from 2008. So this is rather, but he teaches at the Art Center. So or not Art Center, at the Cogswell over in Santa. I guess is that Santa Clara? I guess it's in Santa Clara. Yeah. Oh, this one was really nice. This was one of my favorite. Okay, so it doesn't have to be, portrait. You can exaggerate. This is really the flowers in this. If you could see the original printed copy of this, you'd be like, wow, really nice. She used the hair, the texture that I use, and I'm going to show you where you make your own hair and you can draw. She kind of did that. Just the exaggeration of the face. Very subtle gradients in there. Very, very nice look. This one, very nice kind of gradients. Again, glasses with the reflection, right? Hey, see, reflection. Don't be afraid of glasses. Okay? Show the reflection. I mean, that's what makes it look. And then, again, not everybody has to be straight on. So that was from 2000. Here's 2009. Celebrity. I like the Elvis one. I like the background with the little. I think they're guitars back there, kind of pattern back there. So this one was quite nice. Nice background on this one. I like just a simple background like that. This one used a lot of gradient. Simple, and so it's kind of small, so you really can't see it. But no, I can't get it any bigger. But this one had some really nice, simple gradient mesh in the face. The arm is very simple. I mean, you might look kind of complex here, but all the arm is here and the hands here are just simple shapes, and then it's one gradient from here to here, right? If you look at this shape right here, this is just one big shape right here, and then she just put in one gradient from here to there. That's all it is. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, really nice. You know, and same with this, one gradient from here to there, this shape that she has here. And then just outline the lines around the outside. So again, this is a combination of gradient mesh and lines. So you can see some samples on there. The first technique is this one. This is what we're going to do today. It's called imitating a Scanner Darkly HTML. What was Scanner Darkly? It was a movie, right? Did you ever see that movie? It had Woody Harrelson in it, and not Charlie Sheen. What's the other one who was back from the 80s? But Scanner Darkly is a movie. Yeah, let's look at it real quick so you get the idea of what they're talking about. Keanu Reeves was in it.
It's your job to protect the world's greatest nation. It's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges.
You have to sit through the commercial. Someday we'll get rid of commercials, right?
We train for every eventuality. On land, in water, in the air, space.
Robert Downey Jr., that's who I was trying to say. Remember him? He was an 80s actor. Robert Downey Jr. So this movie came out, I guess, 2006.
It's not human.
Gentlemen, you are about to witness for approximately 61 cents the perfect homemade silencer.
The cherry's up silencer.
Just drive over to my place, kick back, get some tequila.
So you can see they have a kind of look. The whole film has this kind of look to it, with black outlines around solid shapes.
On the skin, they're all over the place.
This is a world.
So you can see right there. Oh, well, not very good. I know our projector's kind of dark here. But you see, you got these solid colors and thick black outlines. See that right there? Okay, so the technique is kind of like that. Okay, where you got the so they made this whole movie like that. Now they had some software that to start them out, but they really did have to go in and hand draw each and every frame. Okay, so it was a very tedious movie to make, as well as there's the one from Canada that was very similar called Waking Life. Did you ever see that one? Very similar technique as this one. It was called Waking Life. Waking Life? I think it was from Canada. No, it was Waking Life was from Texas. No, I think it was Canada. I think they were from Canada. Very similar technique where
your life is yours to create.
Still just as real as anything else.
In an alternate universe, you have. Yeah, you're trapped.
I want real human moments. I want to see you.
so again, very flat kind of look with thick black lines around the things. So this has been a technique that the movie's been using. And they have a software that does a starting point, but you have to go in. I didn't like the Waking Life as much as I liked the Scanner Darkly, as far as film-wise. So if you're interested in looking at that, the problem with the Waking Life is they had the background shifting so much it was disorienting. You know, the background shifted where in Scanner Darkly the background was pretty much set and the characters were just kind of moving in it. But You might have seen it in the trailer here.
I'm not in an objective, rational world.
You can have any kind of sex you want.
But see how the background was shifting there? So the whole movie's like that. The background's constantly shifting.
So, you produce a neo-human, the individual no longer restricted by time and space.
So, maybe look for those movies over the weekend. Be fun to see. They're both very similar in the way that the concept of the movie, brain, the Scanner Darkly is more about drug kind of thing and messing up your brain drug-wise, and this is more of a philosophical one. This is more a philosophy one, and the other one's more drug one. Okay, but you get the idea. So the technique that they're talking about in this handout kind of follows that. So you first start with a portrait. So you start with a portrait. We're going to make one today, right now, using this technique. So first start with a photo. I'm going to use one of the photos from that website. The kind of photo you're looking for is something that has a little bit more, this one's kind of nice with two people, but, not straight. You don't want to use your, high school photo from the photo book, right? Straight on boring. Or your driver's license one. Something a little bit more interesting. So the first technique is to lock the background like I usually do, like we did with the fruit, right? Then you can suck up the colors from the photo like we did with the fruit. Remember doing that? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to suck up the colors, make myself a palette. Then I'm going to start with a new layer, and I'm going to call it black. So the first technique is to do the black part, the outline of where you saw in the samples where they had thick black lines around the shapes. That's the first thing they want you to do, is make the thick black lines around the shapes. So if you look here, of course, using black, and then they're changing the options for the pencil tool. So to change the options for the pencil tool, you double click on the pencil tool and you get this window. And in this window, they're adjusting the fidelity and the smoothness. What that means is, as you're using the pencil tool, how many points is it putting down? Do I want it to be following my pencil very close to the detail of it, or do I want it to be smoother? Okay, so you can adjust that. In addition to keep selected or not keep selected. What that means is, as you draw with a pencil and you let your finger up, does the object that you just drew stay selected, or is it deselected? Usually I like to turn the edit selected pass off. What that means is, once you draw one, and then if you draw another one that's too close to it, it draws a new one. Okay, we'll look at that when we get to the computer. Then again, what they're talking about is just like this is the top of the eye, right? Just go and draw a shape using the pencil tool of where you think. So think of outlining the jawline, maybe, nose parts, whatever, and outline them in black. Outline them in black. Okay, so you can see right here. See how the black, draw the black lines first. Then you end up with something that looks like that. Right? Draw the black line outline first. Then, using the same pen tool, go in and start making solid shapes. Solid shapes. Solid shapes. Of course, light ones and dark ones, building from in to out. Again, they're just using the pencil tool and outlining solid shapes. So usually I work back to front. So, if I was doing this area right here, I might make the big blue area first, and then make a smaller blue area next. And usually work back to front. And then the final look. It makes it look easy. It's not that easy. It takes time. I think the whole important thing is, you're going to have to spend, a few hours doing this. This is not something that you do in a short amount of time. It takes time to think about the shapes you're making. You might need to revise them, redraw them, things like that. But that's the first technique I'm going to use. I'm going to do it right now. Okay, you ready? I'm going to choose a picture. Let me get one from this fabulous website here. Maybe this one. That's Toulon. Is that Toulon? It is Toulon. It's quite nice. She inputs my grades for me. So hey, we'll make a nice portrait of her and give it to her. Maybe she'll input my grades. Yeah, she would do it anyways. So that's kind of a nice picture. I kind of like that she's looking down and not necessarily looking at the camera. But I'd like to have her looking at me though. I want to see some eyes. Hold on. This is kind of straight on, but this is quite nice. I like the way, it's not perfectly straight on. Right here. I like this one. I love her this whatever you call in her hair there. That's quite nice. Don't avoid a picture because this looks complicated. You got some texture in there, but boy, that's nice. This is really, really nice. I mean, this looks hard, but whoosh. I kind of like this one better. I'm going to go with this for right now, if I can download it. Let me see. Save page, view source, inspect, screen grab, select all. Can I copy from this? Oh, you got to. This is again Flickr. So in Flickr, you have to go down here to the down. So if you find a picture on Flickr, again, right here is the download options right here. See the download photo down here. So if you're using Flickr, again, over here should be download options. In the download options on Flickr, you can choose different quality. So it's going to say, do you want the original, large, medium, small, square? Of course, you might want to do the biggest one you can get so you get the most detail. I have to sign in to download? What? I have to sign in to download? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, well, whatever. If you don't want to sign in, just take a screen grab. How about that? Here we go. I'm just doing her portrait here. Can I zoom out? Oh, no, I can't zoom in and zoom out. If I had a bigger screen. Whatever. I want to do a screen grab. Missing kind of the top of the head there, though. Okay. I didn't feel like logging in, so I just took a screen grab. Okay, I'm going to go into Illustrator now. Let me quit what I'm doing here. Remember, you should try to make it bigger than 8.5 by 11 would be nice. I want to be able to see some detail, right? So when you're inside of Illustrator, I'm going to use larger than 8.5 by 11. Plus, you might want to consider using CMYK as your color space because, of course, you're going to want to print this out, and most printers use CMYK as their printing colors and not RGB. So again, when you're in the new options, and it's still starting here, if I'm in the new Photoshop options, you might want to choose tabloid is a good one, or if you must, you can do 14 by 11 is a kind of a common size, right? 14 by 11 is a common size. 17 by 11 is a common size, but try to do something bigger than 8.5 by 11. Again, you got CMYK right here is the color space. Again, most likely you have to color print this out, so you might want to choose that. Artboards, I'm just doing one artboard. And then we did talk about choosing in last class about different sizes and stuff as far as units of measure. And then I'm going to hit OK. You can do it either horizontally or vertically, whatever way you want. To bring in your picture that I'm going to use the file place, and I'm going to choose the picture, my screen grab. There she is. And then you can draw a box to put your picture in. What a nice portrait. Our photographer here is very good photographer. Well, he left. The problem is we used to have a photographer on staff, and he had to go over to Mission, so he's at Mission now. So, but he was here on campus all the time, and he would take photos of all kinds of wonderful things, events and things. So now we're missing a photographer. You guys ready? I'm going to start. Yeah? You guys got some picture you want? Portrait? Okay, the first thing I'm going to do again is under the layers window. Layers, layers, layers. Okay, let's look at layers. And I'm going to get rid of this color guide, Pathfinder going away, transform going away. So I use layers window a lot today, and then I'm going to use the swatches. Remember, under color swatches. Swatches. Again, the first thing I'm going to do is make myself the colors. Because I'm doing a photo, a portrait, I might want to steal the colors that are already on the picture, right? How do I get the colors? So in the swatches window, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my first color by using a new color group. You see where it says new color group right there? New color group. And I'm going to say portrait. Portrait. Again, it's kind of next to the trash can in there. So it has, of course, white was already the default in there. So this is my new color group right here. It's called portrait. Then I'm going to use my eyedropper. And I'm going to select colors. Once I select the color, I can take it from the color box and drag it into my swatch. Or I can choose the new swatch option there. Again, I'm using the eyedropper. I'm going to select a color, take that color, drag it from here into my swatch window. I'm going to select a color, drag it from here into my swatch. Again, I'm dragging it right on top of my folder that it made, my folder called portrait. Nice color swatch there. Drag it in there. Nice color swatch there. Drag that in there. Nice color there. Drag that in there. Some darker colors in there. Get some darker colors in there. Some nice eye color there. Maybe a hair color. Get as many colors as you want. You can always add more colors later. But again, how I'm getting the colors is I'm using the eyedropper tool. I'm selecting a color. Then I'm dragging it from here into my color swatches to give myself a palette. You can see the palette right here as I'm working. So that when I'm making my color shapes, I can go and do that. Once I'm done adding my colors, I can then take my layers window and I can lock my picture, right? You don't want to mess with the picture, so you can lock it. And then, of course, just like in the handout I was showing you, you can make a new layer right here next to the trash can in the layer window, and they called it blacks, at least in the handout. You can read the handout. And they called it blacks. Again, they're going to use the pencil or the pen tool to outline black outline. So I'll give you a second, and then we'll start. And their suggestion, of course, now the pencil tool looks a lot different than it did before. Now you don't have everything. You got smooth and accurate, and it's kind of in the middle there. So you don't have the same options that they had. Again, smooth, what smooth will do is it'll put more points down, or no, less points down, but make your curve, your lines smoother, and hence the word smooth, where accurate will put more points down when you're using the tool. Again, you got new fill, new pencil stroke. That means it'll put it in whatever the color the fill is. That's what I want. See it right here? If you want to say keep selected, it'll keep the object selected. Option key toggles to smooth tool. I don't know what that means. I guess if they're talking about, are they talking about the smooth tool? I haven't showed you that. You have to remind me to show you that tool. And then edit selected path within 6 pixels. What does that mean? Let me just show you what that means. I'm going to turn it off, but I'm going to show you what that means. Okay. So let's say I am. Let me zoom in here. Yes.
I have one option here. It says close path when ends are within certain pixels.
In the pencil tool option.
Yeah. Well, I have the 2015 version. It's not the 2014.
Yeah.
So should I turn that on or off?
Let me read it. And I'm sure this is the newer version on this computer, right? The version you're using on this computer should be the latest version of this one too. Close pass when ends are within. So what that's telling you is. So I have. So in his version. Let's say I'm drawing a shape like this and I come back and I stop here. So if this and this are within 15 pixels, it's going to close the path. So you might want to have that on if you want to not have to go all the way back to the beginning all the time. So yeah, that's what I'm assuming it means. So let me show you what the edit selected path means. Okay, let me show you that. So if I hit OK here and I draw, let's say I draw a shape, and I'm doing only blacks right now. Remember, I'm just doing the black part. If I draw a shape like this, and there's my shape, and then I'm within 5 pixels, or what did it say, 6 pixels, and then I draw another shape, and I draw another shape. Nope, it didn't work. I thought that would. Let me read it again. Edit selected path within 6 pixels. I thought that would alter the one. No. I don't know what that means. How about that? No clue. Let's move on. Let's leave it checked then. How about that? Okay, so the technique again is that you want to use black lines to outline the major parts of your portrait. So in addition, what are the major parts? So of course we have, the kind of the cheek area here. You got the nose area here. You have the eye area here. You have an eyebrow here. Of course, you got the edge of the face here. You have black lines that could be used around the area there. You got a nice jawbone right here. Nice jawbone here. So anywhere you think there needs, and usually what I would do is just around the edges, because I'm going to fill in with colors later. So I'm going to kind of start with the eyes first. I'm going to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Again, I'm using the pencil tool right here. And again, I'm just going to hold the pencil down, kind of go around, and go back like that. Again, I'm going to go around the eye. Like that. I'm going to go down. And if you cross, you'll see you get a really thin one. So if you're using the pencil tool and you cross an area, it's going to give you that. If you want to do the eyebrow, you can exaggerate. Again. Using just where you think you want to outline. Again, I would even do the edge of the noses. Noses? No, I guess that's not a word. Noses? One nose. No, edge of the nose. Is that a word? Noses? Well, you can even make one big shape like this. And if you cross kind of where things are, it'll actually give you a kind of different look. I might put some thin ones down here just to give her the very thin kind of look that goes under the eyes here. Very thin, maybe. Whoosh, that's not very thin. It might not look right at first, but don't worry about it right now. There's some lines here. Again, I might use the cheek. And this person has this beautiful, beautiful skin tone because she's from Ethiopia, right? They have a beautiful skin tone from Ethiopia. And if you turn your picture off again, you can see where you started. So I think that's about as much as I'm going to do there. So add some what they did was they added a different layer per color. So if they were going, from a dark color to a light color, they would make a layer, for like dark whatever, purple or dark red or dark whatever. So by making a new layer each time and maybe even giving it a name for the type of color that you are using, like I have these different colors that go along over here. Okay, I have some dark colors and I have some lighter colors. So you might want to maybe name the layer for the color that you are using. And maybe just start in an area and try it. Like, how about this? I'm just going to do the ear for right now. I'm going to do the ear. But so you can either name the layers according to maybe different parts of the face, which I've done before, ear layer, eye layer, lip layer, That's one way of going about layering your things. In the handout or in the web page, they actually named each layer for the different colors, right? The different colors, like dark colors to medium colors to light colors, right? So, you know, just depending upon what you want to do. To make my life easier, I'm just going to do it in ear. That's ear. So I'm just going to do an ear first, just to get an idea of what I want to do. Again, you have maybe some dark areas, and then you have some lighter areas. Probably the easiest way to do a certain space is to maybe choose the medium color, right? Maybe not a light color, but maybe not the darkest color, and start with that. So I'm going to choose like a medium color. And I'm going to use the same pencil tool, and I'm going to put the ear actually under the black layer because I want it to be under the black layer, And then I'm going to just draw the whole shape all the way around, like that. Then you say, well, I can't see the photo now. I can't see the photo because I just drew one big shape over top of the picture. Well, here's what I would do then, is I would twirl the triangle down for the layer, and I would turn that path off. It's still there, it's just turned off. Do you see that? Just turned off. So in this case, it's a little darker right here and a little darker right there, and so I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to draw another shape, maybe choosing new colors. So I have a little brighter color here, a brighter color here. Oops. And probably should have done that a little bit bigger. Remember, you always have an undo. I'm going to do a whole kind of brighter color here. There we go. And then definitely a brighter color here. Brighter color here. Then they have even, and then again you can turn the eyeballs off for that too. And then they even have an even brighter color. She's got a really bright color right here. Kind of a bright color right here. There's definitely a really bright color that goes along here. Then there's even a little purplish color that goes right there. I have a kind of a purplish color right there. And then another darker color there. That's even darker there. I should have made that darker. I don't have a dark color. Dark color. And then you can even turn those eyeballs off. Again, this is kind of a dark color that goes along the top up there, because the hair is covering that up a little bit. Ooh, that's black. I didn't want black. Wanted a dark. This one. And so, when you're all done, if you turn them all back on, you can see you get your technique. And if I zoom out, it's not perfect, but it's a start. So that's sort of their technique, is using solid colors in overlapping areas. And I probably need to change my colors a little bit more. Probably need to add some more detail. But that's kind of the technique and the thing. If you're going to do solid parts of the face, again, using big shapes, starting with big shapes. Again, then you can turn those off and then make brighter colors. And then turn that off, and then you can even use, I don't think I sucked up very good colors, did I? It's very hard. And then even bright color. So that's sort of the technique they had. My colors aren't very good. They're not very. There's probably there's too much differentiation in them. But that's sort of how the technique is supposed to work. And, you know, if you go through and do the whole thing, you might even go through and start with one color for the whole face, right? And then turn that off. Oops, I put that in the wrong layer. Oh, this is in the wrong layer too. These are all in the wrong layer. Let me make a new layer. It was the same color, wasn't it? And then, of course, you can go into the eyes. If you want, as you are actually drawing, if you want, you can. The reason why here's another technique. If you use the pencil tool and you say keep selected, watch what you can do with that. So if you leave it say keep selected right here, see how I said keep selected? Watch what I do now. So if I say keep selected and I start drawing, let's say I draw this shape right here. It keeps it selected. So what I can do then, right when I'm done with drawing that shape, I can use the eyedropper and then go suck up the color, and it fills it in right there. Do you see that? So if you use the keep select, again, the keep selected is underneath the pencil tool. Double click on the pencil tool. If you say keep selected, you can then use the eyedropper right after you're done drawing that shape. Right as you're done drawing that shape. Well, it kept that, but then again, you could use the eyedropper tool and you can click on the color right next to it. So again, if you have the keep selected on, I can then use the eyedropper and select the color. What happened to that one? Whoosh. Oh, hopefully she doesn't see that I drew her face like this. She'd get mad at me. But do you understand sort of the technique that they use? It would take time. I know I did it very fast, but it's basically drawing shapes. If you look at the sample, again, they're using a lot of very solid shapes. Very solid shapes. And again, they use light, medium, and dark. Light, medium, and dark. And they use very solid, look at that, very solid, not as detailed, very solid shapes. Solid. And so it just takes time. Nothing's easy. Just takes time. Okay, that's all I wanted to show this week. This is a holiday week.